Hey guys, and welcome to this Google Ads training where we're going to be talking about Google Ads and shopping ads in particular. I'm going to show you how you can improve your Google Ads and essentially get better quality traffic. My name is Dan. I've been working with Google Ads for the last few years, and I started out with an e-commerce store. I built that store up, but I got into the Google Ads side and really enjoyed that. So I gave up the store, and now I'm solely focused on the Google Ads side. So now that's what I do. So if you do need someone to manage your ads, I'm there. I can help you out. But let's get into how you can fix your own ads here. So let's continue on. So first, this is what our ads usually look like when we start. They look great on the left there, and we build a few campaigns, and all of a sudden something happens. We start to adjust bids, we panic, and things look like this on the right, where we have campaigns everywhere, ad groups everywhere. We don't know what's going on in our campaigns or ad groups anymore. Our account is essentially just producing garbage traffic, and something's happening. Negative keywords are everywhere, and essentially we don't know what we're getting in. We're putting in garbage and we're getting out garbage. This is how we're going to improve our Google Ads. So you improve your Google Ads by improving the search quality, and then you can improve the search volume and the messaging and add the website quality. All these work hand in hand, but usually I like to start at search quality, and that's where we're going to focus today. What I mean by search quality is we're getting the right kind of search terms. So this is a term, so say someone types in, I want a red shoe. If we're selling red shoes, that's a good quality term. We want that term. So this is what people are typing in and what kind of traffic we're getting into our store. If we are selling red shoes and someone types in, I want high heels, and we don't have anything to do with high heels, but they type in, I want red high heels. Well, that's not quality traffic anymore. Now we're getting the wrong kind of traffic to our store. So we are trying to focus in and get the right quality of traffic. And this is very easy to get wrong with Google Shopping, because if you just follow the Google's guidelines on this, you'll either end up with a smart shopping campaign, which is probably better than nothing, or you'll end up with a campaign that's just getting all kinds of traffic. And they'll do a pretty good job of finding the right traffic, but they might not. I've seen some where they don't find anywhere near the right kind of traffic, and sometimes where they find absolutely amazing traffic that comes in, and you don't really need to do a whole lot. But we're going to kind of guide Google with this, because we don't get to pick our keywords, essentially bringing us the traffic we want, and we can pay the amount of money we want to pay for that particular type of traffic. So search quality, obviously these are actual people. It's not just an algorithm spitting out numbers and search terms. These are actually people typing in, so we have to think like a person. We have to think like, how would someone search for our products? So this is where you want to go ahead and brainstorm some search terms. Take a minute, write down, what do you think someone would search if they're looking for your product? Talk to a friend, say, what would you search if you were trying to find my product? You may be surprised what you find, but you want to write down a list of those different search terms and kind of rank them. What would be the highest quality search terms? Like, what would be someone searching for? A lot of times when you want the highest quality of traffic, it's usually brand names and product names and specific GTIN codes, different things like that would be very specific to your product. And then the next level down might be different descriptors of that product, and this could be different depending on your niche you're in. And then the last one would be kind of a catch-all, and we're going to get into that on how we're setting this up. So this here is our overall, this is how our structure is going to be set up. We're going to have a high, a medium, and a low. So this is the kind of template that I'm using, is a high, medium, low, and we're going to gather traffic in each of these different buckets. And each of these buckets is going to be one campaign. So you're going to have a high campaign, a medium campaign, and a low campaign. And the high campaign essentially is going to be all terms. You can put every term in there. And I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to take you into the back end of one of my accounts here. I'll probably have to blur a few things out, but we'll go into the back end of one of my accounts, and I'll create this, and I'll show you how we go about creating this exact funnel. And it's so easy to make things to cause it to break down and have problems with this. So I'm going to show you that, and hopefully we can get you all set up without any problems. So the first one here again is high funnel. This is all terms. So this is, if you can picture, all the people are searching, they start at the high funnel, then they move down to the medium funnel. if they have a search term that matches the criteria. So specific terms for your industry, like I said, it could be different product descriptions, different things like that. This is going to be kind of a catch-all, where not a catch-all, the medium is going to be where you put all your terms that you think someone would search. This where you brainstorm and you put all the ideas in, those are going to be the ones that go into medium. And then in low is going to be all the items that you think would be very likely to convert. So in the low, it's going to be high converting terms such as brands, products, and GTINs, a whole bunch of different terms, but it's how you put them into all these different categories that's going to be a big, it's going to make a big difference on this. What we're going to do is I'm going to go into my account and I'll flip that over now and I'll see you in there. All right, so here we are inside a campaign. This is a live campaign. Obviously, I blurred some information out just for privacy. What we're going to do here is we're going to start a new campaign by hitting this big plus sign here and go new campaign. And over here, we're going to do a campaign with no goals, and down here to shopping. And over here, this all should be your information up here. And then we're going to come down here to standard shopping. Continue. And we're going to enter in our campaign name. I like to start with the type of campaign it's going to be, with shopping. And then I'm going to have this as a low priority. So I'm going to put low on here. And we're going to come down to manual bidding. If you don't see manual CPC, you may have to play with this a little bit to get it to manual. It looks like they've made it a little easier now to continue on with manual, which is great. I like to uncheck my enhanced CPC unless you have already some data you're working with. If you already have some conversions and it's good, they're great conversions and they're tracking properly, then go ahead, check this off. It's up to you what you want to do on that. Down here, budget, I'm going to start with a 0.01 because I don't want to have a budget on this. And we're going to change this. This is a very important little section here called campaign priority. And this is going to be our low priority. So we're going to set it as low, come down. We're going to check this. I'm going to uncheck these. You can leave them checked on if you want. I don't suggest having them checked off right now. YouTube, Gmail, I'd probably definitely uncheck that one. Search partners, if you've tested and you know it's going to work, but if you're watching this, you probably haven't tested that. So I would start with it off. And then if you want more traffic, then by all means, click that on and then you can get more traffic that way. Continuing down, make sure you have your location set and you've excluded the proper locations so you can have it. I usually go to enter another location, and then in here I type in, say, the United States, and then I'm going to exclude, say I don't want to ship to Hawaii. Make sure you exclude that, and it's say Alaska. Oops. I don't want to ship to Alaska, exclude that. Continue down, there's location options, go open that. There's this very important little section here. It's presence or interested in, people in. So this is going to be people that are interested in that location. So I don't really want to show my ads to people that are interested in that location. I'm going to go to presence, people in, or regularly in. If you're running out of traffic and you're running this campaign at full capacity, then maybe you want to change the target here and see if you can get some more people in other locations that are interested in the United States or the area that you're targeting. I'm not sure really why you'd want that, but maybe you do. You're just running out of traffic and you want just that little extra bump, and you might get some more traffic that way. Down here, create your ad group, and we're going to call this all products. This can be changed later, but I recommend that you just leave it all in the same ad group for now. Now, there's ways to segment in different ad groups, but we're not going to get into that in this video because that's taking it to another level here. And it's not really necessary when you're starting out, or even if you've been running a campaign for a while, to get great traffic. You don't really need to have this separated out into different ad groups. For bids, let's just say I'm going to go 0.01 because I don't want this to run. So you could change this to whatever you want the default bid to be. Usually starting at looking at, if you've been running ads before, use an average CPC, but you could probably start out with $1. It'd be something that you could start out with, and you're going to get a lot of traffic right off the start. I find a lot of shopping campaigns run between 30 cents and all the way up to about $5 or $6, depending on what type of niche you're in. So let's create campaign here. Okay, so now we have a new campaign, and this is our low priority. So what you want to do here is, before you get into segmenting out again, what I would suggest is you get this campaign set up the way you want it. So because you're going to duplicate this campaign. So what all you need to do is click on this plus sign here. I can do product types. I always like to start with product types, and this is where you change that product types. So let's start with product type, save without editing bids. And then each of these are going to be able to divide out further. So I'm just going to do one here just to give you an example here. And this one, I'm going to change this up here to brands. So I just hit the plus sign on that one. Now I'm changing this to brands. Scroll all the way to the bottom. If you don't and you have more brands, it will not pick them up. So you scroll all the way to the bottom and then check this off again, because you may miss some things, especially if you're doing item IDs. So save that. So now I have all these brands in kind of this waterfall effect. I could continue to do that with the rest of them, but I'm not going to in this just this little training session here. I probably will eventually with this client, but actually I have something else set up with this client right now. But if I was to continue with this, I would set that up. So okay, so we have our campaign, we have our product group, and I would like, the one other thing I'd like to set up before I go ahead and copy this would be audience. Come into your audience over here on the left, and actually I'll do this campaign level. And if you don't see this black bar over here, it's this little button here. You can move this in and out with this button here. And over here, you come over here, and now we can divide this out and go to edit audience segments. And now you can add in different segments of your audience. I would suggest finding ones that actually relate to your audience. You can go browse, or you can go search and try to find some that would make sense for your niche. So you'd pick kind of particular ones that would make sense. Say you have just, if you're say you're selling some kind of exercise equipment, you might want to find something that says exercise. So I could look up exercise. There you go. And then when it comes up to exercise now, of course I spelled that wrong. We got weights and strength training equipment, exercise. So I would look through this list here and okay, that one makes sense. Running apparel, maybe that doesn't make sense. Active wear, okay, that makes sense. And look through it, click off ones that you think would make sense for someone that's buying, someone that would fit into those categories. It's just, and one other particularly important thing here, do not set this to targeting. Set it to observation. If you set it to targeting, that's the only traffic you will get. That is very important if you're running a campaign. Otherwise, you will lose out on a lot of traffic. Observation is the one you want with this. Okay, now I think we're ready to go to the next step. We've set up our campaign. We have our settings. If you ever need to change the settings here, go into settings under the campaign, and you have your different options that we already changed. Here's our networks that we selected, and we have all our options, our campaign priorities right here. We're going to change this in a second. So what we're going to do is go back to all campaigns, and here's our shopping low campaign. We're going to click on the box and we're going to go copy that. So copy, and we are going to paste that in. Let's come over. So all I did here is I clicked it off, I edit, copy, and I uncheck this box, and now this paste shows up. Paste that in. It's going to have your account, make sure it's the right one, and we're going to go paste. We're not going to worry about pausing because we're running it at a 0.01 of a budget per day. It's not going to run. Okay, so now you're going to want to rename this to medium. And then we're going to do this one more time. We're going to copy and paste this, or you can just hit paste again. Okay, now that we have that last one, let's change the name of that one to high. And there's a few things we have to change with this. I'm going to make this a little easier here, and we're going to filter some campaigns just so I don't have any other campaigns. Okay, so now we only see the 3 campaigns. So what I'm going to show you here is I'm going to take away or change the priorities of these campaigns. So this is very important, extremely important step. So come in here to the medium, shopping medium, click on the campaign. And what you're going to do here is you're going to go into settings, and you're going to go to campaign priorities, which is under bidding and budget. Change this to medium, save. Now we're going to go over to low, which should be on low already. Perfect. Now we're going to go to high. and we're going to change this one to high. So this is going to allow us to essentially funnel the traffic from the high to the medium to the low. So we're going to get our catch-all is going to be our high. It's going to be all the traffic that just comes in from Google. And then we're going to say, okay, well, we want some of this traffic. We want to pay a little more because we really like this traffic. So it's going to go to the medium. And we're going to say, okay, well, there's some traffic in here that's really, it's going to convert really well. We want that to go to low. So we're going to essentially funnel the traffic from high to medium to low. Now I'm going to show you how to do that. This priority is part of the puzzle here, but the other part of the puzzle here is we're going to have to create some negative AdWord keywords, and we're going to do that with groups of keywords. If we do, we can do that inside here. We can add some negative keywords, but it's going to get so messy and so complicated so fast. What we're going to do, even if you have multiple ad groups, this is the way I suggest to do it. We go into here and we're going to go to up top here, so tools and settings, and you're going to come on to your negative keyword lists. Now we're going to create, as you can see, I have multiple negative keyword lists in here already. What we're going to do is we're going to create one here, and we're going to call this one send to medium. This is one of our campaigns, or one of our negative keyword lists that's going to be very important to it. And what we're going to do here is just say we are selling some kind of furniture. So let's say we have 24-inch, or would be, maybe that's a term that we'd want to show up for. Or let's say we're selling vanities. So vanities, vanity. So I'm giving pretty generic terms, but I want to grab that traffic and I want to pull it into the medium where I can control it. I can't control the high traffic, but I control the medium traffic. So I want to pull in a lot of terms, and I want to I don't want to pull in everything, but I want to pull in a lot that makes sense for our brand. So okay, so this is our medium here. So we're going to save that. And what we're going to do is we're going to add one other one here. Another negative keyword list, and we're going to call this one, let's call it exclude from everything. This is going to be our garbage keywords. This is going to be anything we don't want. Let's say we don't want to show up for cheap, because we don't sell anything cheap, so we don't want to sell up anything for cheap. I wouldn't suggest putting a ton in here right now. This is something you're going to fill up as you go on over time. So just put everything like that, exclude from everything. Okay, one sec here. Let's go, because I already have one called this, so let's just put a 1 after it for now. The reason is because I already have this created. Now we're going to come in here and we're going to add one more campaign, and this is going to be called send to low. You could also do this with multiple different ones, but let's just do it send to low for now, so we know. And let's call this one, say we sell, let's make up a furniture brand. Let's call it MFT Furniture. And I put this in quotes, and the reason I'm putting it as quotes because I don't want it to treat it as two separate words. Now, this doesn't have to be the case. In fact, a lot of times what I'll do is have it like this, but if it's for some reason I want these to be in that order, then I put quotes around it. If I don't care what order the words show up in, if they just show up somewhere in person search terms, then leave it like this. If you really want to exclude just one particular thing, which I don't suggest doing in this case, but if you say you want to exclude it in for everything, and we put in other negative keyword lists, we could have it like this, and we could exclude just this one term, like furniture. Say we're showing up for one word, furniture. Someone types in furniture, and that's all they type. This would exclude only that and nothing else. If they typed in furniture or our furniture or my furniture, it would still show up. Anything like that would show up. So, all right, but we're getting into things a little too far right now. So let's just set it up this way, save that. So now we have enough to get our campaign set up properly. So we're going to go back into these 3 negative keyword lists that we had. So let's do send to low. And you can see here's our term. We're going to apply to campaigns. We're going to pick our campaigns. So with the low, send to low, we want to exclude everything but the low. So medium and high. And we're going to exclude those two. We're going to go back into our negative keyword list. We're going to go send to medium. And we're going to apply again. And this one, we're going to exclude only the high funnel stuff. Because what's happening is it's going from the high, we want it to stop at the medium. But we don't want to exclude it from the low. Just leave that alone. Just put it as high only. come back into negative keyword lists, and we're going to go into our exclude everything. And what we're going to do here is going to apply to all the campaigns, shopping 1, 2, and 3. So low, high, and medium. All those it's going to apply to. So this is going to exclude this from everything. Okay, so now we're going to go back out of here, and we're going to get back to our ads, our campaigns, and I have them filtered again so we only see these 3. One last thing we want to change, you have to change your budget, and I suggest using a shared budget. I'm not going to show you how to set that up, but it's pretty simple. You go in up here and you go under shared budget. You can go in, set a shared budget, and the same way we add the negative keyword list, you're going to do the same thing and add all 3 of these into that shared budget. If you don't, what'll happen is one will run out of budget before the other. In fact, let's do that. Let's add a shared budget. So come up here, tools, and let's go up here to shared budget. Create a shared budget. Let's go with this one here. We're going to write as test, and then we're going to come in here. We're going to check off all 3, and now we have our budget, and it's going to save that budget to these. So now when we come in here back to our ads, you'll see that we now have a shared budget between the 3 of them. They're each going to spend a total, it's going to be between the 3, there's going to be only 1 penny spent. And this allows it, if one of these run out of budget, it's going to allow things not to fall apart. If you have 3 separate budgets, at least with Google, if you have 3 separate budgets, things will fall apart if you don't. Now, if you're running on Microsoft or Bing, this is a trickier scenario, and Bing, it doesn't work the same way, and it'll cause you problems. But right here on Google, it will work just fine like this, having a shared budget. If you run out of budget, it doesn't cause any problems. But if you have them separate, it will cause problems, and you'll start seeing terms sneak into these other campaigns. This way we'll keep them so they're all separate, or that you'll get the terms in the right campaigns. So now you're going to need to adjust the bids on each of these. So low is going to be your highest bids. So what you do is come into here, low. I'm going to change my default bid. So this would be my $2. I'm not even going to change this because I don't want it to run. So I changed that to $2. And medium is going to be changed to $1. And high is going to be changed to, let's say, 50 cents. You want to have a decent difference between the 3 of them. And then what you're going to come in here and do is under the ad group now, you're going to have to come down to the ad group level, and you're going to have to change this. This will not change when you change that default bid. You have to come in here, select all these, come in here, change bids, and then set the new bid to, let's say, for the low was going to be, I think it was going to be $2. So we'll come in here, we'd set it to $2, and then you do the same thing for your high, and you're going to do the same thing for medium. Come in here, select them all, change the bid. This is what's going to change your bid. The default bid, all it's going to do is allow when you have more products come in and you add a new group, it's going to set that default bid. It's not really going to have much effect on your account. This is where it's going to have all the effect. Now, the last thing I'll tell you here is, because if you're running this, you're going to want to know how to add negative keywords and that type of thing. So all we're going to do here is I'm going to go into one of my other accounts here. I'm obviously not going to show you the terms, but you'd come into here So I can't show you the terms, but what we can do is I can show you what I would do if I was going to exclude these. So all you would do is come in here, select one of your terms, and you're going to come over here to add as negative keyword. And depending on what you want to do with this term, say if you're looking in the high funnel account and you're like, okay, this is a great term. I want to get some more out of this term. I want this term to bump up to the medium or to the low. All you're going to come in here and do is go to negative keyword list, change this negative keyword list to the one that you want to use. So send to low, send to medium, or exclude all. And let's say this one we're going to send to medium, and then we're going here to uncheck this add to campaigns because you don't want that to happen. That'll probably cause some problems. So send to medium and then save. That's it. That's all you need to do. If you have to, there's different ways of doing it when you want to change the match types, but that's getting into the weeds of things. If you just follow this and you pick the one you want to send it to and say save, and then continue to look into that high funnel account, see what terms are showing up, look in the medium, make sure the right terms are showing up there, and the low funnel as well. Make sure you're only getting the terms you want in those areas. They should only be the terms you want. There might be one or two that sneak in, but for the most part, it should only be the terms that you selected to go into the medium and the low. And then the high should be everything. So hopefully this makes sense to you guys. If you guys do need more help, let me know. Feel free to reach out to me. Okay, it's support@focusyourads.com. Also, I do this. This is what I do. I manage people's ads. So if that's something you're interested in, take a look at my website, focusyourads.com. I can definitely we can take on more clients. So if you're interested, we're not going to be able to take on more clients forever, but we do have openings right now. So if you're interested, take a look, and I feel free to send me an email or fill out my form, or even give me a call. I have a phone number on there, and we can chat about whether you are a good fit for our company. And if you are, then maybe we can work with you, and we can help get you set up. I do plan to put up more training as well, so make sure you follow my emails. I'm going to be sending out more, and there might actually become a training course in the future where I dive deeper into the subject and really get into everything. I just don't have time to cover everything in this training. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll talk to you guys later.